So in between issues 2 and 3 of the main Death of Doctor Strange miniseries, we get 2 tie-in comics. These are standalone issues from already existing titles that won't interrupt the existing titles' numbering, but they will fill in the gaps of the miniseries. The first of which is Strange Academy Presents. Strange Academy is a book by Scotty Young. It's been running since March of last year, I think. But basically, it follows a set of supernatural teens learning the occults from Doctor Strange and friends. For the older audience, the Academy has an impressive roster of teachers and staff, including Doctor Strange, Dr. Voodoo, the Ancient One, Agatha Harkness, Scarlet Witch, Damian Hellstrom, Wong, and Man-Thing. But the younger readers, you're there for the students, like Doyle, son of Dormammu, Emily Bright, who's a powerful healer as I understand, as well as Alvi and Eirik Borison, the sons of the Enchantress, who are the main focal points of this tie-in issue. In the wake of Stephen Strange's death, the teachers of the Academy felt that it would be best to send the students away until arrangements are made and a new Sorcerer Supreme is chosen. Perhaps they felt like the school was unsafe, while Strange and other mystics are being targeted. But much like Harry at Hogwarts, a lot of these students don't exactly have great home lives to return to, if any at all. And unfortunately for Eirik, he will not be going back to Asgard. He is taken by a gnarly-looking wizard. For an explanation, Alvi tracks down his mother. Keep in mind, this is not Sylvie. This is Amora the Enchantress, the original Enchantress. And Amora is a real piece of work, man, let me tell you. And the ugly truth that Alvi learns is that long ago, his mother made a deal. Well, several deals, involving her firstborn child in exchange for magic relics, artifacts, and other powers. As she explained once upon a time to Doctor Strange, she never really intended on having children, so it was really an easy deal for her to make. But thanks to Strange, that wizard was once turned to stone, as he remained for as long as Stephen lived. Ah, well that explains it. So she convinces Alvi to come with her to Weird World. An interesting dimension to say the least. To find their way to the wizard Pulsari, they must first visit the map makers to get an up-to-date guide for the ever-changing landscape. And we get a new look at what's become of the wizard since his release from Strange's prison. He has been draining the life force of Eirik, and the Asgardian gives Pulsari a lot of strength and power, which he used to conquer Weird World. But poor Eirik is nearly out of time, and the wizard sets his eyes on his replacement, who's coming right to him. On their little road trip, Alvi and Amora get a moment to talk. It seems like that's not something they get to do often. She confesses that yes, she abandoned the boys, that the power that she acquired and how she had acquired it were dangerous, and she convinced herself it was too dangerous to keep them around. And as they talk, it is mentioned how Eirik and their father had a close relationship that Alvi was jealous of, and it looks like the two are about to have a bonding moment when they are attacked by Goletta, the Wizard Slayer. Goletta expresses her duty in killing wizards to protect the land. Enchantress does what she does best, in appealing to a common interest, explaining how they are there to take out Pulsari. Goletta agrees to help them storm his keep when the wizard actually confronts them. Dropping a drained Eirik to the ground, he comes for Alvi. But feeling a sudden rush of motherly emotion, Amora starts blasting everything in sight. With Alvi alongside, they do their best to fight off the wizard's golems, but the boy is suddenly overtaken, but only for a moment. Enchantress frees him just as Goletta takes a risky swing at Pulsari. He laughs at her, thinking that his skin is impenetrable and that it would keep him safe from her attacks. However, she returns the laughter. The joke's on him, because she was aiming for his amulet, the source of his power. Alvi destroys it, and the wizard returns to his previous pathetic state. They stop Goletta from slaying him and instead turn him over to the former rulers of the land that he had upturned, Man-Thing and Queen Blithir. The boys seem to have gained a closeness and appreciation for their unique mother, as she's gained a newfound fondness of them. If you want to know what the rest of the students are up to, check out Scotty Young's Strange Academy. I got to read in a few of these, and honestly, they're a lot of fun. I highly recommend checking them out. The second tie-in is with the Avengers. Years ago at that fateful first meeting of the Illuminati, the one that I covered back in my first video. Man, this meeting is such a profound and impactful moment in comic book history. Before the meeting takes place, however, we see Tony and Steven having a word about masks and trust. Tony wonders if these apotropic masks really have any magic power. Strange tries explaining that it's more in the way of warding off spirits in their appearance than actually being magic usually. Tony puts it plainly. He doesn't understand magic. He can't solve it with math. It defies logic and therefore represents a world without rules, something that he cannot allow. The only reason that Strange was invited was because the host, the Black Panther, trusts him, and Tony needs to borrow that trust. As a man in a metal suit, he himself embodies everything that T'Challa mistrusts in foreign interests. Still interested, though, Tony asks again if the masks work, even as a ward, to which Strange taps on Iron Man's helmet and asks him the same thing. It's an interesting exchange that lets us know how Tony and Steven felt about each other in the beginning. Back in present-day Florida, we see the cultists of both Tiburon and the Great Agamon bringing a nuke to the nexus of all realities. And as they said it, they are attacked by a hulking red construct that comes out of the nexus. But back at Tony Stark's brownstone, he's doing everything he can to scrub himself clean of the Crawling, one of the three mothers that attacked the Avengers in Death of Doctor Strange Issue 2. No matter how hard he scrubs or how much he scans the suit, he can't shake the feeling that they are still on him. And all he can think about is having a drink. Really goes to show how this is a lifelong struggle for some. But in the other room, the others discuss what they are dealing with and come to grips with the butt kicking that they just got. They check in with Panther, who's been monitoring the different invasions. He tells them that there's a situation in the Everglades, and Carol says that the three of them will check things out, that Iron Man needs a minute. But Tony comes out looking squeaky clean, saying nah, he just needs a sandwich and something for his headache. At the Nexus, they see all the cultists have been laid out by something big. They notice the nuke, and Tony immediately begins work on disarming it. A gross-ass bug crawls up into his suit, reminding him of the Mother Demon, and he uses the clamshell protocol to eject himself from the suit. I don't blame him. Ugh. The others head to Miami to defend against what looks like multiple juggernauts. It takes them a moment to realize that these are constructs, but once they do, the team quickly starts ripping through them. Tony, on the other hand, runs out of time to disarm the nuke and chooses to take it through the portal to detonate. Unsure of what's on the other side, Iron Man steps through the Nexus and finds total chaos. Among the bizarre, he sees a set of legs to someone half in and half out of a portal. Following into their realm, he sees nothing but death and destruction, and a similar spire to the ones that the constructs are trying to build in Miami. After taking the survivor to the psionic spire, Tony sees the message that they are trying to send, and he learns that the constructs are the result of the daughter of Sidorak, the Lord of the Crimson Cosmos, that she is the last remaining person in their world, and she is trying to use her father's Crimson constructs to warn the people of Earth of the coming threat, the child of the three mothers. Iron Man rushes back to Earth and flies to Miami as fast as he can, getting there just in time to block Thor's hammer from smashing into the last construct, the one with the Crimson Lord's daughter inside. Tony helps her to the spire, promising the Avengers that it's all right, and lets the girl tell her story to the world. She warns the world that the three mothers are harbingers of death, that the child is already on its way. In fact, it's already there. Things might be too late. Man, these were fun, and I appreciate the character growth for Amora the Enchantress, but I am ready to get back to the main story. Next, Death of Doctor Strange Issue 3, along with the tie-ins of Spider-Man and White Fox.